Well, good morning. First video of 2022. Who'd have thought I'd be out on New Year's Day? Maybe I shouldn't say that because you might be watching this in the middle of summer, and that's not going to give it a kind of timestamp, is it? Anyway, I'm doing the second my installments of Shoot What You See. So just out with a gimbal camera and one camera and lens. And I am in the medieval town of Winchelsea in East Sussex. Now, Winchelsea was built around Edward I's time, and the things that we've got an old church there, point in the right direction. There's an old courthouse and jail. There's a manor house just down the way, which I'll walk down, cross over. Spike Milligan buried in here. I might be able to find his gravestone somewhere down here. And this tree here, look, John Wesley preached his last open-air sermon. And I did a video on my Tudor Travels section, the Wesley tree. It's even got a QR code on there. Get your phone out and scan that, and it'll take you somewhere. Anyway, little link up here to my video on Ainsford in Kent, another place that John Wesley preached. He was a Methodist reformer way back in the day. So we've got the New Inn pub just here. There are 3 gatehouses which are built of stone from Edward I's time, because Winchelsea in its vastness was a town between 1066, William the Conqueror, right up to Edward I's time, and it was surrounded by water, but it was always a victim of the French marauders that had come in. It was a vital link for trade with Europe during Edward I's time, and a lot of the houses around here have got deep cellars because they would store the casks of wine and port and alcohol. So although these houses look small and quaint, actually the cellars below, on many of them, oh, there's one down here, I'll show you it. Don't know if you'll see in there. Quite amazing. Anyway, I'm not getting any photographs done, am I? Oh look, they've got an old telephone box. Even make it as a portrait one. Oh, is it ringing? Someone ringing. Check it out. Hello?
Hello, is that you?
Yeah. No, it's Tudor Smith, the red camera.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm just out doing a photo shoot.
Oh, photo shoot,
Oh,
that's good.
well look, hit the subscribe button and the
Subscribe button, yeah.
bell notification, and you'll be able to follow me and, all those kind of videos that I put up.
I'll do that.
Cheers.
Bye.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Bye.
They follow me everywhere. Anyway, it's all in a good cause, isn't it? Like and subscribe for future content. So this is the Strand Gate, medieval. We're talking 1200s here. Now the way the sun is catching it just at the top of the turrets would make a nice composition. What I've got to work out is what's the best angle to get the shot. Now I like kind of medieval things, but I don't like modern as well, so it's a case of, do I take it from an angle here, shooting down? Let's just scout the area to see what it looks like from down there. See, I like that, that's nice, but I've got the sun in my eyes there. Stand there like that. Right, let's set up, take a shot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into aperture mode, and I'm going to force 2 shots. Can you see that? So because I've got the sun directly in front of me, what I want to do is basically overexpose one shot, because it's going to appear dark. It'll be dark because of the sun coming down and because the background is highlighted. So what I can do is overexpose. It makes the background super exposed, but it'll bring out the highlights of the brickwork. And then I'll take a second shot, roughly So overexpose is really opening that aperture, like 5.6, and then I'll do another shot pushing that aperture closed. So if I give you the live view, that's what I've got. It's a rather nice turret. Actually, I'm getting enough exposure on there. Live view off. Let's just go for a shot. I like that. I like the shadows. That's the beauty of this time of year. Again, the sun is low and it's not going to get much higher than it is already, and I'll be able to take a nice shot with the long shadows. So my first shot is f20. That's that shot, and I'm going to, there's a question of whether I use the exposure compensation. I'm going to open up the aperture to f5, and I'm going to underexpose. Now I'm going to overexpose using exposure compensation to 1.7, which I think is 2 stops. So the 2 shots, a darker one, a lighter one, I can merge them and bring out the highlights from the foreground and the highlights from the background, and hopefully get a nice balance. So have a look at this one, and I'll go and find something else to take a photograph of. I like the old church. It's quite gothic in a way. Obviously they still use this part. And the old ruin section with the light shining on it could be a nice shot. Right, where are we going? That's it. Yeah, a little bit of a ruin shot. So that's my shot. Let's put it on 2-second timer, even though I'm on live view, and it'll take the shot. So that's at f5, 1/100th of a second. Yeah, fancy that. I might get a nice shot just of the courtyard and the graves. Yeah, that looks okay. What do you think of that one? Right, we'll walk through here because I just want to see if I can find Spike's grave. It's around here somewhere. Oh, coming around this side. Not that we're here to take pictures of gravestones, but you know, it's photo of the day job. Get the sun shining down from there onto the church with the gravestones. Where's a good composition? Just from here, taking that angle, or down beyond the trees? Now, if I go beyond the trees, then it's going to be a square shot, isn't it? Straight on. So I'll just take this shot here, give you the live view. That's what I'm seeing. It's quite nice, isn't it? I'm in aperture mode again. Let's push that f-stop to f10, f11. It gives me good focus. It's suggesting a speed of 1/40th of a second. Let's get down and get some angles for these gravestones. Is that a decent enough shot? 2-second timer. Yeah, that's okay. Shoot what you see, right? Shoot what you see. So this is the grave of Spike Milligan. I can move this just for a second and you can see the inscription Terence Allen in brackets Spike Milligan, OBE, KBE, 1918 to 2002. Old Spike Milligan, buried here. Now there is an old urban legend that says he wanted on his epitaph, "See, I told you I was ill." And it may well have been him, but I'll take a shot at that. It may well have been him that did actually want that on his tombstone. It may be someone else. But the powers that be of Winchelsea, in its, I don't know, I don't want to say self-righteous, you know, but they deemed that kind of epitaph would lower the status of the town. And you know what, it's a 12th century medieval town with wonderful old architecture. So what I'm going to do, so yeah, they whether they did or not, head down this way because there's another gatehouse that I want to take a photograph of, but we get some nice rolling countryside of the West Sussex. I might be able to get a landscape shot in there. There's some nice sky. Look at that. Look at those clouds. Puffy on one side and blue on the other. And it's actually, you know, for the 1st of January 2022, a balmy 14 degrees centigrade today. So relatively warm. I've got my body warmer, but just a sweatshirt. That cloud I was showing you is casting a shadow. Look at the countryside around me now. But what I have in front of me is what looks like an old manor house. Isn't that majestic? And I'm thinking a nice shot across the bows. Now I don't know if whether I incorporate some of these trees in the shot, so I take it from the other side of the road. But I've got the power of my zoom, so I think I'll do that. Just finding the best composition. You know, there's so many trees in the foreground. Maybe it's the gap down here, actually. Can you see that? Can you make a composition out of that? We stand just about here. Oh yeah, there we go. Got skip. And actually, look at this wall. This wall going down here. That's composition number 2. That's the beauty of doing this kind of on-the-fly photography. I knew I wanted to come to Winchelsea. Didn't know what I would find. Didn't know what I'd photograph. But then, you know, that's par for the course. Just come out and shoot what you see, right? Let's just frame it up. That's kind of nice. This is what I'm seeing. So if I come right out and I get the road, not really suitable. But if I zoom in, I can incorporate the tree on the left. It's difficult when you've got eyesight like me. Come on, focus. Manual focus, I think. That will do it. Okay, so the house, a couple of trees. I might do a monochrome picture for this. This could look moody. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clone out the fence, because that's just too modern for the idea. What I want to do is make a monochrome image with the sun. Just think, what is it? Heathcliff, The Wuthering Heights, you know, Jane Eyre, that kind of thing. Sort of misty, and although it's not misty, but if I can do it with the black and white, bit of post-processing. So live view off. Let's do it with my eyes. Let's increase the... Yes, that's lovely. Now what I've got here, I've got this nice wall. Can you see the wall? With the ivy crawling over the trees, and there's like the last remnants of autumn. Now that could be a portrait shot. What do you think? That's rather nice. Get it with the car not there. There's some sun coming through. I'm going to adjust the exposure. 2 shots, overexposed, that one. And then 1 shot with it underexposed to bring out. So with those 2 shots together, 1 overexposed, 1 underexposed, a little bit of bracketing should bring that one out. That will look like this. So that's an example of bracketing in Shoot What You See. Right, I'm going to walk down a path because there's another gatehouse. It's apparently 1/3 of a mile, and I'm not going to have you watching me and rambling on while I do that. So see you in a minute. Wow, look at this. Remnants of an old building. And it's just 1 single wall left with that sun. Doesn't that make a great picture? Now, to get a good shot of that, I would need the sun to be shining on it. So I'm thinking the other side of the road, just by the fence there. So if I come over here, I end up getting a Volkswagen in the shot. So, you know, it's making the most of it while you can. From across the road then, I think. Let's do it. I'll give you the live view so that you can see what's happening. Let's prop you up on the chair there. Little tripod. So let's just size it up. Oh, I'm zoomed right in. That's not good. That kind of works, but it doesn't work, and the reason is because it's a lone standing wall. Taking a shot from this side just makes it look like it's a house all by itself. So actually what I need to do is get an angle that actually shows it just as one upright wall all by itself. So how can I do that? Has to be here, doesn't it? Isn't that amazing with the sun? It's one of these kind of dark images. Hang fire. Okay, so I've got the cloud just covering up the sun. I've got that amazing peppered cloud formation. Let me show you. Okay, so that is peppered cloud, ISO 100, f8. Can I push that, open that aperture? So I think a couple of bracketing shots, that one. And then drop the exposure compensation down to get the sky. So again, it's just a case of bracketing two shots together. So we've got the dark one here, the light one there. We bracket them together and we should get a nice shot. I am going to go down the country lane. I think there are 2 shots to have, and then we'll call it quits on this shoot what you see. Although I'm seeing some really lovely stuff here. There's an old sign from days of yore. I'm just going to take one shot of that, because you've got to do it, haven't you? Look at that with the tree in the background. The sign is saying narrow road, and it is. It's a narrow road. So let's go down here. So yeah, down this lane, narrow road, is I think it's called, is it the East Gate? We'll find out when we get there. There's a whole bunch of fallen trees, but down here is a farm. Is that on the hill? There's a farm and a mill down here that is owned by none other than Paul McCartney. Now, I'm a bit of a Beatles fan. If you look at the playlists up here on my other channel, I've got numerous Beatles related videos. But I think it was 1990. Was it 19? No, it would be the 80s, wouldn't it? When did Press to Play come out? Here's the date. It came out here. That was the first album that was released by McCartney simultaneously as a compact disc, as a cassette, and as an LP. The very first album in history. He's always a first on McCartney. Correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I think I'm right on that one. Press to Play, co-written with Eric Stewart from 10cc. Now he was recording up until then all his Wings stuff and all his solo stuff at Air Studios, which was owned by George Martin, and he bought this farm and created his own studio, and he has a house somewhere over there, Peasmarsh. So yeah, all the recordings were done here. So anyway, I'm going to walk down, we'll find the archway and any subjects that I see. I think I might get 2 or 3 more shots out of this little photo shoot. So bear with me. I haven't seen the archway yet, but I've seen this tree. Look at that. All the limbs coming across. A copse with trees there. How can I get that best in a composition that incorporates everything? It's a question of, do I include the lane with the trees? A little bit of a panorama, I think, going on. Let me do a little setup. So that's what I'm seeing. What do you think of that? That's got the country lane coming around here. I've got the trees, and oh look, it's chopping off a little bit of the copse. and I am tight at 18mm. That's when you need a 10 to 14, something like that. I'll step back a little bit, that kind of works. I don't know, what do you think? I like this exposure compensation. Look at that, I can brighten it and darken it. See, that's what I'm going to get. So I think that's flat. Yeah, that'll work, won't it? Let's take that shot. Oh, very pretty. What do you think of that? Right, I'm just going to walk down here. You'll catch up with me when I get to the archway. I was wondering where it was. The path runs around and I thought the road was disappearing, but it obviously drops down the hill, and just there you can see the archway. I'll do a little zooming in for you. So all around here, Edward I would have had trenches, and that would have been a restricted entrance, and then Winchelsea up on the hillside. So as I walk around here, look at this. You don't expect an old medieval entrance down a country lane. The things you see in the English countryside just blows me away sometimes. So here we are. It's supposed to be 8 foot wide. I didn't think I'd get my car through here, but clearly I could do. The other one was 6.6. So what have we got here? The New Gate, it says. The New Gate was built in the 13th century and was the only entry to the town by land. Can you imagine that? Beside it was the town ditch. This was an effective part of Winchelsea's defences, cutting off the peninsula from the mainland and encircling the whole western side as a water channel. They were divisive, weren't they? So where's the light? Because photography is all about light. Oh look, there's the ditch. Can you see the ditch? That looks great. I wonder if I could incorporate that. Ooh, that's nice. That's a shot in itself, isn't it? Landscape shot with that. I wonder if I can clone out the fencing. Because I'm like that. That ruins my shot. I can try and get some kind of medieval thing going on. Look at that with its trees. It's straight out of a Ridley Scott movie or something, isn't it? With the ditch. What can I do here? Let's have a look so that I can show you what's going on. I've got the vast countryside here, the trees, the old gatehouse and the ditch. Can I incorporate all of it as a panorama? Or I can't really go in there. What a good shot. Right. I'll just set up the tripod somewhere and then we'll talk through some settings and take a shot or two. Okay, Newgate, the only entrance into the town, circa 1300s. It looks rather nice. I've got to come away a bit to get, but we don't want the gimbal camera in the shot. Come further back because I've got my 18. It's my 18 to 270, so all in lens. But if I want to take, it's crazy. I want that, but I want the tree as well. Maybe that's the shot. Maybe it's put in the archway, smack in the middle. What do you think? Yeah, that's nice. Let's go for a 2-second timer on this. Turn that off. I think I've got to change my battery. Yeah, it's quite nice. Bish bosh. And I'll take one shot of the ditch. I think what we can do here is do a bit of a pano but as a square crop. So I can do 2 shots. The red camera. So let's take that shot. I'll do 3. So 3 shots. Dink, dink, dink. And that will allow me to create a square crop out of that. And I think that is it done. What have we learned, apart from the fact that McCartney has a studio up the road, is that you can just come out with your camera, you know, and shoot what you see images, and some of them will come out quite well, and not half bad. What I'll do, I've taken a couple of random countryside shots as I was walking between locations, so I'll give you a little montage to wrap it up. And I will say thank you for watching, bearing with. Thus endeth episode 2, Shoot What You See. Hopefully there'll be quite a few more that I can do. So as I go through this arch, I'll say thanks for watching, bearing with. We'll see you in another video. Bye for now.